What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be talking about the best teams to go 12-0 and get the free Galaxy Opal Michael Beasley next month. So, lads, if you guys aren't new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 200,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Right now, we are less than 4,000 away. So, if you guys want to be one of the first 200,000, we are almost getting to there. So, that would be greatly appreciated if you guys subscribe. But anyway, yeah, so basically what we are going to be doing here is going over a bunch of different squads, and I'm going to explain what type of player you have to be for these to suit. Because let's be real, the 12-0 reward is very, very difficult. And I'm saying this right now, not everyone is going to be able to go 12-0 in a month. It's just like, one, a lot of people don't even play 12 games of this in a month. And if you do play 12 games of this in a month, a lot of people don't play enough of these games to, or won't play enough consistently to do it. And also, it's a case of if you lose 1 out of 11, you're starting back from scratch. So it's a very, very tough reward to get. So I'm saying this right now. If you guys follow these tips and still don't go 12-0, then there's no promises being made for in any way. These are just the tips for you to kind of make your best stab at going 12-0. And this is on any budget as well. So I'm going to be having different teams for different budgets. And I'm telling you this right now. I'm recording this on the 30th of June. When this video goes up until about the 5th of July, these cards are going to be really expensive. So I get it, trying to rush into certain cards, but again, like I've already explained these cards in previous videos, so there's definitely people that have stocked up on all these cards price fixing, I can guarantee you that. And also, lads, all I'm going to say is that just because you don't have a super good squad does not mean it's not possible to go 12-0. It is definitely easier, but it is possible. And I'm going to show you guys certain teams with certain budgets that can compete with whatever budget basically you're coming up against. And I'm going to go over the teams I'm going to use. So first of all, is it best team? Yeah, so my best possible squad is this right here. This is going to be the first squad I try to go 12-0 with. I think the last couple of months, like for me anyway, I go 12-0 at the start of every month, and I do it different ways. Like I think I've gone, basically if I don't get a first try with this team, I give up. Because it is, if you go out with a squad like this and play 12-0, it is a sweat fest. Sure, there are specific people in the world, like the Ties of the world, the Isaacs of the world, that can go out with a good team and consistently go 12-0. But if you're, for example, just starting out the game, or even if you're on European servers, there is not one standout player in European servers that can go 12-0 every single time, no matter what, especially on day 1 of the month. It is not an easy thing because that's when all the sweats are out. So I'm going to try. I've done it first try a couple of months. I've missed the first try a couple of months. And because, again, I don't really want to stress over winning 12 things in a video game in a row. I really don't want to stress about it. So if I don't get it first time, look, I'm going to be calm because I know I'm going to get it some other way. And now we're going to show a bunch of like different squads that you guys can use, and I think are going to can be very, very effective. So this is obviously best possible team. That's the way most people are going to look into it. But if you guys have got some ultra high tier cards, the 80 overall is normally a sweet spot where you do come up against some starters and you do come up against other cards. This is the tips that a lot of people are going to give, and I'm not a fan of doing this. I'm going to say this right now. I'm not a fan of using a squad like this, and I'm going to explain why in a second. So it's going to be an elite center, an elite guard, and 3 bronzes, as well as a full bronze bench. So the elite center is going to be normally is like a Kareem or a James Wiseman or a Shaq type player. The point guard is just anyone else. What I wouldn't do is go with, actually you could probably afford 2 opals, like if you have a LeBron or something, and just run at them. But what I do always like to do is put in 1 like shooter as well as 1 slasher. So obviously Kareem can do both, so you can definitely use a slashing point guard. But I do think for running these type of lineups, I would run a Wade. Heck, I would even run an opal Wade if that only pushes it up 1 overall. It's not the biggest deal in the world. However, to push a team up 1 overall, there's honestly a couple of changes that you could make. Like there's a specific silver card. Any of these work. So these silver cards work wonders. So Javon Carter, Kevin Porter, Contavious Caldwell Pope, or Kyle Korver. So let's just throw Kyle Korver in, plus 1 overall. Let's put in, I don't know, Redick, same overall. Dean Wade, let's be real, you can kind of get better than Dean Wade. Melo, so it's an 82 overall. So like this team right here is significantly better than plus 2 overall. The problem is that normally the sweet spot is you play against teams 3 overall under or 3 overall over. So problem is if you're playing an 82 overall, which is this right here, most of your games will be against similar overalls. However, I'm going to show you guys what a really good 84 overall or 85 overall team looks like. And yeah, you're going to see kind of where the problems are like that. So honestly, I've been messing around with squads trying to find overalls, and I'm going to tell you guys which one I will be using probably first to try to go 12-0. But another one is this lineup right here. So this is a lineup is an 81 overall. And there is one big reason why I think Iguodala is a really good player. Because this team is 82 overall with Dwayne Wade and say Tony Parker, and they've got such comparable releases, as well as the fact I will not be going to the basket with either of them. And also the fact is that because Korver and Melo don't have clamps, you have to play zone. Basically, if you have players like this where they don't have clamps, you either have to play zone, or if it happens that the other team has got, for example, if the other team's running a Thad Young, you can run Melo against Thad Young, that's fine. As long as you match up Parker, Kareem, and Iguodala to their quick first step players, you should be fine. Because without quick first step, the non-clamps player doesn't really mean anything. So, again, I'm using Kareem. You can use anyone there. Kareem's just the best card in the game. And the fact this team is an 81 overall, like this team is actually a lower overall than this team right here, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think I might actually go to run with this team a little bit because you've got a great shooter there. You've got a pretty good shooter there in Korver. The reason why I'm not using gold Korver is because the gold Korver pushes this up to 82 overall. So does Dwayne Wade. And then Melo's in there. The reason for Melo is, yeah, I get it, he can't shoot from the corners, but he's got a pretty good 3-ball of 85. And like at this step, like in these type of squads, 85 is a huge rating. And he's also got silver quick draw, which is not terrible. Like 12 silver badges is not awful. As well as obviously throwing a bunch of bronze on the bench. Then we've got a squad like this. Like this is what an 84 overall squad looks like. So like if you're, for example, running with this squad right here, you're matched up Redick, Korver, and Melo. Like yeah, Redick and Korver can shoot the ball from deep, but they're so slow, and then Melo's Melo. But then you come up with a squad like this. You've got Wade who's locked down. You've got better Wade who's also got clamps, and then Kareem. And then you've got two super fast range extender shooters that can light you up in this type of a scenario, in this type of setting. Guys like Rex Chapman and Swaggy P can light people up. So what I would advise you guys to do is you need two elite players no matter what. You need a pick and pop duo no matter what. You need a shooter and you need a center that can score. The rest of your players, fill them either with guys with clamps or guys with range extender and quick draw. So you can either go with shooters, a bunch of shooters, or you can go with a bunch of defenders. I like this lineup here because we've got 3 players with clamps. Then we're going to go with the original squad. So the reason why I'm going to use these two guys right here is I know Kevin Porter's release. Again, 80 overall is what I feel is the sweet spot in terms of overall. I don't like going to 81 because if you go to 81, you do seem to match up to a lot more 84 overall squads, which I know it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's a lot tougher than an 82 overall squad, which you match up with a good bit on an 80 overall. So this is one of the teams I'm pretty sure I made an entire video on this team in April or May. This is the team I went 12-0 with in May. So the thing with these two cards right here is that Javon Carter has got bronze clamps, and normally bronze clamps doesn't mean anything. In this scenario, it does. Release is unbelievable. The 3-ball rating is really good. Kevin Porter Jr., quick draw, gold, release is really good. His player build is huge, and he will hit the 3-ball even with the 78 rating. And he's also really fast. So these guys can run to the basket a little bit. However, I'm pretty sure you get the exact same overall from replacing them with Redick and where is he? Let's go put in Korver. You get the exact same overall for that. And I think I would run this lineup first. Or if you can get the same overall by running with, I prefer Korver over Redick because for some reason Korver seems to get a ton of steals. If you can go Iguodala, you can't go Iguodala, unfortunately. By the looks of things, Korver, no. Iguodala is a huge get. If you can fit Iguodala into a squad, it's huge. But unfortunately, you can't. So I honestly think the Redick and Korver duo, or for example, the 81 overall is kind of a killer, like a point where I wouldn't do it. So let's put in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Javon Carter, KCP, Korver, Redick. Any combination of them works fine. It's just some of them are faster than others, whereas the guys that aren't fast, have better shooting. So this is like when people are talking about playing my team, like the quote-unquote right way of like finding players that have strengths and weaknesses and tactically putting together teams. This is how you do it. Like if you are actually like lowering overall properly and trying to find the best possible team, this is about trade-offs. This is about strengths and weaknesses. The matchmaking has allowed it. So if you want to use lower overall players in this game, you can. And you can be like confident with your tactics. Then this is probably the squad I'm going to use. This is the squad that I went 12-0 with. Or well, I didn't go 12-0. I actually went 11-0 or 10-0 and lost. I went 10-0 with this squad in June and lost, and the game I lost was just, oh man, I've never played a game like that in my life before. It was just a case of Wade couldn't score, Zhou couldn't score. So this team right here, this is what I always do. I always put Iguodala on the other team's best defender. Or best scorer. I get it. He's not the best defensive player in the world, and his tendencies, 60 on-ball steals, not too bad. I get it, Wade's a better defender. But the thing is, if you just don't make Wade play defense, what I normally do is I put Wade on the other team's worst player, or Thad Young, and just run around and go for steals. Okay, a lot of the time, like I'll put Zhou on a center, I'll put Iggy on their best guard, because most of the time, when you come up an 8 overall, you're coming up against a squad like this. Well, not a squad like this. Okay, this is 82 overall. Just throwing 3 around the bronzes. At 80 overall, you're coming up against like 2 bronzes and 2 god tier players. And if I come up against a squad, even if it's Kareem, if I come up against that squad with these guys right here, I am super confident. Because you can either go one of 2 ways on it. You can either, I would always put Iguodala on the ball handler, and you can actually use this tactic, which I find works actually quite well. Putting, say if it was Kareem and Wade, I would put Iguodala and Wade, and I would put Wade on Kareem. So if Kareem's trying to dribble down the floor, he's coming down off a Hall of Fame Clamps player, and I would literally just paint sit with Zhou the entire match. That's literally what I do. I would just paint sit with Zhou if they're running 3 bronzes around it. So this is what I believe is probably the best lineup, and it's also cheap. Yes, this squad might be expensive for the next 3 days, but it's going to be cheap. This squad right here I bought for 1,500 MT for Zhou 2.5k for Dwayne Wade. This is right now. 1k for Korver, 1k for Iguodala, 1k here. This team is 7,000 MT. And it is as good an 80 overall team as you are going to come up against. And this is probably my choice of team. Because, yeah, like the only real weakness you have is lack of range extender in Thad Young and lack of defensive speed in Korver. Korver more than makes up with his jump shooting. Iguodala is a good shooter, as well as the fact that he's locked down as well. Thad Young and Zhou are really good cards as well. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. Obviously, I will try to do it my best lineup, but that involves a hell of a lot of sweating. That involves every card doing everything. And it's funny that the same people that complain about there being no tactics in my team are the ones complaining about people trying to use tactics, find strengths and weaknesses to find the best lower overall team. Because this is the only I enjoy doing this more than playing with God squads. Like, I would rather play in a tournament where every single person has to do whatever they can to make an 80 overall lineup. Because I'm confident that this is as good an 80 overall lineup as you can get. This team's pretty good 81. This team, I might run with this team a little bit. This team is nice right here. This team 84 overall. The only problem is that you can probably come up against an 88 over or 87, 88 overall lineup. But if you end up coming up against a good string of teams, this team's a god tier. This team right here, I don't like. I would avoid this at all costs, even though I can guarantee you that other people are going to make the same video and give you this tip. But this team beats that previous team 10 times out of 10. And then, yeah, this team also not too bad either. So anyway, that's the video. These are the ways to honestly get the best bang for your buck and give yourself the best chance of going 12-0, whether you have MT or not. Because let's be real, if you go out with the best possible squad, the Hall of Fame credit card squads win. If you go out with a squad like this, even at most 20k MT, and even a Hall of Fame credit card squad at an 80 overall will struggle. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rocking. When I link with ball point.